Ahead on American Sunrise, a salute to the brave Americans who have served our nation. On this Veterans Day, we'll have continuing coverage and gratitude to the men and women on the front lines of democracy. Plus, breaking overnight, the Senate reaches a deal to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Now it's up to the House to get the measure onto President Trump's desk. Missouri Congressman Mark Alford just moments away with some inside baseball on what's happening on Capitol Hill. And then later, why some Democrats are calling on Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down after the shutdown debacle. What could Schumer's fate ultimately be? Those stories and so much more right now on American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. I'm Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches, where it is 45 degrees, David Brody. I don't know what I want you to do about it, but I'll just bring you in anyway. You're in Washington, D.C. T. Bates in Denver. T is thinking, wow, what a wimp. 45 degrees is not even cold. 45 degrees is sunbathing weather for Terrence. He's out in his bikini when it's 45 degrees. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It says it feels like 30. He's going to change into his bikini. It says it feels like 33 degrees today in Florida. And I don't know if that's just because we're from Florida, so we're not used to the cold, so it's extra cold. I don't know. But boys, I'm telling you, woo! This morning.
The suffering in Florida, that's got to be rough. I feel for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, Dr. Gina, I'm not going to even comment. First of all, I'm still stuck on the whole idea of me in a bikini. But secondly, that 45 degrees and you guys are like, oh, my God, woe is me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold. I mean, it's the first words. Everyone you see, it's the first thing they say. They broke our Floridas. They are sure that the new Tucker video about weather changing is 100% accurate. And those are the only conversations anyone in Florida is having right now. It's cold. Yeah.
Well, look, the conversation we're going to have this morning is, first of all, we're going to be thanking our veterans, but also the Senate voted overnight to end the government shutdown. The measure now still does go to the House, so it's not over just yet, but one huge step. Obviously, under this particular plan, the government would be funded through January. There's some other details that we'll discuss. But David, what a day. Finally, the longest ever government shutdown looks like it's going to finally come to an end. And Chuck Schumer, well, he's not popular amongst his Democrat colleagues.
No, he's not at all. And we want to play a little bit of that sound, not from Chuck Schumer, but from President Trump, who basically said, sorry, Chuck, game over. Take a look.
He thought he could break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's become a Palestinian. And it's amazing. I've never seen a politician change so much. Also, he doesn't have, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent.
Chuck Schumer, the Palestinian line never gets old. Gina, I will say this, that, look, Chuck Schumer gambled here, and he thought that Donald Trump would go away from Thune and Johnson and basically say, all right, I'll cut a deal, let's figure it out, because Trump can be, you're never quite sure exactly where he's going to go, which is the beauty of Trump, really, if you think about it. But he stayed with Thune and Johnson the whole way, and Schumer gambled, and he gambled incorrectly, and that's the end of that, Gina.
Yeah. Well, there will be a lot to talk about in the days and weeks to come as we get into actually funding the government and all of those sorts of different questions that we'll have to answer. But for right now, let's check out today's Bible verse. It's from Deuteronomy 33:25. Your sandals shall be iron and bronze. As your days, so shall your strength be. It's a beautiful verse. It's a promise of enduring strength and divine protection. It means God equips his people to stand firmly and walk securely, no matter how rough the path. Sounds like our veterans. The harder the journey, the stronger he makes you. Your strength will match the demands of your days. So I love this verse. I was listening the other day. Actually, I think I saw this on Instagram. It said, the devil doesn't make life hard for those who are already his. That's why bad people often seem to thrive while good people suffer. Kind of changes perspective, doesn't it? Well, speaking of a change in perspective, the Senate passed a bill to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The bill keeps the government funded through the end of January and funds other departments and agencies for the next full fiscal year. It now goes to the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson wants to vote on it soon. Then it heads, of course, to President Trump's desk. So for more, let's bring in Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. Congressman, how quickly do you see this getting through the House when it gets there, or will there be divisions inside the GOP on this deal?
Well, first off, good to see you guys. I'm back in Washington, got here last night. Our flight was about half full. I think people are really a little concerned about traveling right now by air, but I think we're going to get this wrapped up by 5 p.m. tomorrow on Wednesday. We're waiting for other members to get back. We have one who's in Guam right now. I know a lot of people have huge Veterans Day celebrations and ceremonies that they're attending. Dan Crenshaw won down in Texas. And so people are starting to stream in, and we should have everyone in place. And I think we'll have this all buttoned up by maybe 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Congressman, do you see any last second kind of defection? I mean, Tom Massey, I'm assuming he's voting no. I wonder what MTG is going to do. And what about Democrats? Are they all going to vote no? I've heard that there's at least 3, 4, 5 that will vote yes on this. So what are you hearing exactly on the count? Potentially.
Yeah, Jared Golan voted yes on it back on September 19th. I think you may have a few other Democrats swing over to the side of sanity and reopening the government at this point after 40 days, 42 days now, the Schumer shutdown. They have seen the misery that they have inflicted on the American people. I don't see how you vote against reopening the government, but some of them are still so fearful of the far left of base of their party that they're going to do it. Hakeem Jeffries is whipping a no vote on this as well. I am on the whip team. We have been making our calls. It looks very favorable at this point, but I know Tom Emmert, our whip, and our chief deputy whip, Guy Rothenschaller, will be working today to try to make sure we have the votes to get this passed.
Congressman, I don't want to put the cart before the mule, but assuming this does pass, and I'm going to assume that it will in fact pass and get President Trump's signature, January 31st is going to be our next drop dead date. And there's still an ideological divide in terms of how to fund the government long term and all of those appropriations bills. Will we be back in a similar situation come January 31st, say this extension passes?
Well, Terrence, I know the concern for that. I'm glad we went to the end of January. That gives us more time to get this done. Tom Cole, our appropriations chair, we've been over this before. We got all 12 passed out of committee. We got 3 passed on the House floor. Those are the ones that are being lobbed back over by the Senate with just a few minor adjustments on those 3 spending packages. We have 9 left to do, and I'm confident we can get this done. Steve Scalise warned us yesterday on our call in a very nice way that we are going to be really putting our shoulder to the wheel on this. We are going to be working long hours when we get back. There was one member from California who suggested we even possibly stay here over the weekends, work full 5-day weeks. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an aggressive schedule, but we have shown the American people that we are getting back to regular order. And that's part of this process. To maintain that trust of the American people, we have to get these appropriation bills, all of them done, and I'm confident that we will.
Congressman, there's an Axios headline I wanted to ask you about. Supreme Court has rejected a challenge to gay marriage decision. The case was brought by former Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis. Davis denied same-sex marriage license on faith beliefs. What do you make of this? Will this be happening in other states?
Well, look, I firmly believe in covenant marriage between one man, one woman, and God Almighty. I know that others look at marriage as contractual. I think the problem that we've gotten into America now with this whole issue, it's kind of like a cake mix. The flour and the sugar, the baking powder has all been mixed together, and now it's hard to separate those. I don't know what the individual states are going to do. This is a very tough decision for the Supreme Court, but I think in the end, God wins in this because he knows the true hearts, minds, and souls of those individuals entering into marriage. And I believe covenant marriage is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Congressman Alford, thank you so much for your time. Great state of Missouri. Got to get it in every time with real teams and all that stuff, not these ones that Terrence talks about every day.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Congressman, by the way, when you mix all that stuff up into a cake, just cover it with icing and it'll protect it for then.
Okay. Problem is I like to eat the icing, so we'll see.
Buttercream.
All right, Congressman.
All right,
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We agree. All right, coming up, we are going to check out the hottest headlines from the RAV newsroom with T-Bates. Also later, President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Middle East envoy Avi Berkowitz are in Israel meeting with top officials on the next phase of the peace plan. How are those talks progressing? And what does it mean for the region? Next on American Sunrise.
This is 130th Field Artillery Brigade, currently deployed to Camp Arab John Kuwait. Happy Veterans Day! Go Chiefs!